Namaste and hearty welcome to all of you to this high intensity Thursday Satsang. We are learning life lesson and today is the ninth session of life lessons. So before we get into learning of life lessons, there are few basics. Today is a very auspicious day, Datta Jayanti, celebrating the birthday of Lord Dattatreya, which is considered as the combination of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. Three heads. For those who are not very much aware of the symbology, three-headed God who was the first teacher in the human form. Adi Guru Shiva. Adi Yogi Shiva is considered as the teacher, first teacher. But the first teacher in the human form is considered as Dattatreya Bhagwan, the three-headed God, which is representative of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. The son of Atri Mahasaya and Anusuyama. And most important for us, we have a temple of Dattatreya in our ashram also. The most important for us is he was the first human guru. Not only that, he was the first human Grasti guru. His wife's name is Vidya Lakshmi. Like how Dattatreya Bhagwan is a combination of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Vidya Lakshmi, his consort, is the combination of Saraswati, Lakshmi and Parvati. And it is said that he created this female form through his Yoga Shakti to demonstrate to the world how to live life in the Grahastha Dharma. That's very important for all of us because all of us, we are householders, Grahasthis. So Grahasthiyon ka Adhyatma, the householder spirituality started with Datta Bhagwan. So Datta Sampradaya people, a lot of people come to our ashram. We have a Dattatreya temple, and today is the most auspicious day celebration, Datta Jayanti, the birthday of Datta Bhagwan. So, and today is full moon day, very good for meditation, very good for spiritual evolution. All right, coming back to high intensity Thursday Satsang, something super special for householders on Datta Jayanti. See, all our issues, if you see, are into 5 categories only. The first is the lesson that we need to learn in the human body. Is that keeping body fit. 100% compulsorily, every human being who comes into the physical human body has to learn this lesson on the planet Earth. There is no option. Okay. Compulsorily, one has to learn the lesson. If you understand the modern science, like Deepak Chopra started in his books the first time, which I read, it was there earlier also. But I was heavily influenced in my younger days by reading Deepak Chopra's books. So he talks about body-mind continuum. The body is the grossest part of the mind, and mind is the subtler part of the body. The mind influences body, the body influences mind. Either way. They are not two, they are one. It's a continuum. And that's a very important insight. So if a body is unhealthy, the mind is also unhealthy because you don't have the enthusiasm to do anything. You don't feel like taking risk if the body is not well. Same thing. If the mind is unclear, you are clouded by the thoughts, or brain fog is there, or depression is there, or anxiety is there, unnecessarily worrying is there. All those things, mental issues, they influence the mind, the body. Okay. So people who are not mentally fit, sooner or later, physically also they will fall sick. So mind is influencing the body and the body is influencing mind. That's why The first lesson that all human beings we need to learn as a householder, even sannyasis, everybody. In fact, even a God is incarnated into the physical human form. Even God will have to learn this lesson of keeping the body fit. Somehow, see, because of lot of medical facilities available and insurance available, lot of people are taking body for granted, which is a grave mistake that we all human beings are making. As a human being, maintaining health is the priority for most of us. Unless you are very young and healthy, then your priority may be money earning, but otherwise, for most of the people, health is the top priority. Because if health is gone, everything is gone. And it's not just the physical health. You have to consider the mental health, emotional health also, because emotions influence a lot. Immediately, person can fall sick with the negative environment surrounding. Okay, so how to tackle these issues? I'll be dealing in detail in December. So for those who are not able to attend December camp and would learn to tackle, there are a lot of ways. I'll show you. One of the best way as a trainer I came across is this non-violent communication by Marshall B. Rosenberg. Non-violent communication is the style of communication that helps you to communicate in a way that you don't create the negativity in the relationships. See, my 35 to 40 years of research, ever since I got interested into training, the first training that I attended in Bombay by Khurshid Merchant was communication training. One of the very powerful trainer in those days, Khurshid Merchant, was very popular. So, people who understand how to communicate how to communicate with loving assertiveness, they create positivity in the environment. But those who have the emotional tone or negative emotions reflecting onto the facial expressions, tremendous amount of negativity is created by few gestures, and the person who is receiving the communication can instantly fall sick or at least get irritated. Even the most mature person can feel irritated because of this thing. And the survey shows that majority of the people on planet Earth are unaware of these facts because these are working at a subconscious level. These are working at a subconscious level. Most of the people are unaware of this phenomenon. And that's why repeatedly the same mistake. So health has got direct connection with your thoughts and emotions. In healing also, we go to the root cause. So what is the behind the disease? What is the emotion? Where is it crystallized? What is the mindset? Okay. What are the thought patterns? So if you go detail into that, you will find out what is the root cause at the mental emotional level. More than that, the cause behind the cause is in the causal body. Buddhi karmanusarini. Your karmas are prompting your thoughts and emotions. Your intellect is functioning under the effect of past karma, purvasanchit karma. And according to the karmic baggage, your mental emotional body will function, your intellect will take decisions, and you will enjoy or suffer based on your karma. So enjoyment is also there, suffering is also there. Now, if you understand the whole thing, in this high intensity satsang, I wanted to bring in some extraordinary insights which can do the miracle healing. That is the research that I'm doing right now. And today being Datta Jayanti, very nice auspicious day, we'll see whether we can do miracle healing online. Okay, today is an experiment for miracle healing. All right, so get ready. If possible, because I'm trying out. Okay, offline for sure it's happening. Online, I have never tried miracle healing. I have never tried online, but we'll try if it is happening or not. So those who are tuned to me, for sure, you will get it. All right. So first is the health dimension. Okay. Second one is the wealth dimension. Every human being has to learn the lesson of financial independence. This is also compulsion. See, the soul who does not learn this lesson gets exploited again and again and again and again, 500 lifetimes, 700 lifetimes. Through the exploitation, the soul learns that I need to earn and I need to be independent. Not only that, I need to handle my hard-earned money in a proper manner. So that's a compulsory lesson. Let me tell you, this lesson in Brahman, the whole of the cosmos, we learn only on planet Earth because the give and take of money is only on planet Earth, nowhere else. See, those of you who are doing astral travel, like I had been doing for years together now, conscious astral travel. So I have traveled a lot into the other dimensions astrally. There is no give and take of money in any of those dimensions. The give and take of money is only on the planet Earth in the physical human form, nowhere else. Anywhere in the Brahmand, cosmos, okay, give and take of money is simply not there. It's a human creation, not the God's creation. Money is not the God's creation. Money is the human creation. Resources, affluence, that is Goddess Lakshmi. That's a different thing. This money, currency notes or gold coins, initially gold coins, then currency note, then plastic money, now digital money. This money give and take is the human format, not the God's creation. God created affluence of resources, not the currency notes. But that is the lesson that every human being needs to learn on the planet Earth. Many spiritual minded people, they avoid this thing and they keep suffering, and that is the reason of not getting liberated. So without learning the health lessons and the wealth lessons, liberation is not possible. Then you may ask, what about those sannyasis? Many sannyasis have learned the lessons of money in their previous lifetime and completed. So they are out. They're absolutely not interested in money because their lesson is completed. Their lesson of health is also completed. So many of them are very healthy. They are learning only the spiritual lessons. Okay. But normal householder is learning the lesson of health and wealth. These are the two compulsory lessons for the beginner. The third and the most important and the most difficult and the most critical lesson is the lesson of relationships. See, yesterday also I did Akashic record reading. Today also I'm doing one going on. Tomorrow I have a consultancy. What I'm seeing almost every day, one or two people's counseling, consulting, or Akashic records I'm doing. What I feel is 90% people on the planet Earth are learning the relationship lessons. The most educated people, the most affluent people, the most intelligent people also, they mess up their life as far as the relationships are concerned. And it becomes the most difficult issue of their lifetime. So relationship issues are the most difficult issues. Okay. See, these days, more and more people are going away from the parents, going away from the family. You know, they want that kind of independence, freedom. That's okay. Nothing wrong in that. But why do you feel unhappy or uneasy in the presence of your loved ones? That is the question you should ask. What is maturity? Okay in the presence of loved ones, okay in the absence of loved ones, which means now you are emotionally mature, now you are spiritually mature. If you are feeling uneasy in the absence or in the presence, and let me tell you, the presence will make you more uneasy than the absence because the vibrations are there, and that is the test point of your maturity. Again, emotional maturity, how do you get? Remember this. This is the most important aspect which people need to learn. Communication aspect. How to communicate with loving assertiveness. How to communicate without the emotional tone. how to communicate without the emotional reactions on the face. One has to become highly aware. Your face can put off somebody. Your facial reaction, not the face. The facial reactions can put off somebody. Okay. So these small things are influencing us at a subconscious level in relationship. That's why the relationship is the most critical. Okay, I want to tell you something, what I was doing last 2 months. So I did the research on karma, okay, through astrology. See this, the deeper aspect, the cause behind the cause, if you want to understand, it is in the causal body. It has something to do with the karma. And how the karmas are influencing, okay? How karmas are built, first of all. So I was checking what is the worst possible karma. Why so many people are facing relationship issues in the world, modern world? Almost everybody. See, if you take a person into confidence and ask, are all your relationships fine? You will see one or two relationship will always have some issue. Always. Why? Those are the pending karmas. The very fact that you are in human body, you are not yet liberated, which means some karmic issues are guaranteedly there. And let me tell you, that is also the reason of we being alive. Do you know what happens if all your karmas are exhausted? The person dies. That is also the cause of the death. If all your karmas are over, person dies because there's nothing to live for. Because you have some give and take with somebody. It may be good, loving relationship, or it may be toxic relationship. Either way, it is karmic. Unless you complete those karmas, liberation is not possible. Everybody understood this fact? We are talking about relationship dimension. Okay. From relationship dimension, we go to the deeper aspect, which is called the karmic entanglement. So karmic entanglement issues, the most difficult of all, are related to our karma, past life karma. And every soul has to clear up the past life karma. If you have done very good karma, you will have loving relationships, you will have a lot of joy, a lot of fun with those souls with whom you have done good karmas. And if you have done some bad karmas, you will have very abusive relationship, you will have a toxic relationship, irritating relationships, and you will have to suffer those karmas as well. That is how the law of karma works. Okay. And this is also the topic for the detailed discussion on the second Sunday of December, which is under the esoteric club. We'll be discussing about the karma and reincarnation issue for 2 full hours in a great detail. Okay. So that preparation is also going on. So 4 dimensions we discussed. First is the health dimension. Second is the wealth dimension, the money dimension. The third is the relationship dimension. And the fourth is the karmic entanglement dimension. And the fifth one is the spiritual evolution. Every human being born on the planet Earth has to evolve spiritually, get enlightened, get liberated, and that is the way we complete the journey on the planet Earth. There is no other way. The journey on planet Earth cannot be complete without spiritual evolution. So, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam, all these things coming back again and again on the planet Earth in the human format, because we are not learning the lessons. That's why we come back again. The very fact that all of us, we are in the human body, is a proof that we have not learned and completed our life journey in the previous lifetime. That's why we are all born again. And we will be born again repeatedly until we complete this journey. All right. So some basic understanding has to be there. So these 5 dimensions, the dimension of maintaining health, fitness, the dimension of wealth, becoming financially independent. So, not to entertain any hypocrisy about money, also not to get obsessed with money. See, both extremes are bad. Being balanced, having the balanced relationship with money. If you need money for expenses, you need to earn so that you don't beg. That's fair. That's grasti dharma. Okay, but being obsessed with money, making every aspect of life transactional, that is too much of obsession with money, and that has to be avoided. The sacredness is there, the loving relationships are there. There is much more beyond money also that cannot be compromised for the sake of money. At the same time, money is important. Without money, nobody will give you anything in this world because everywhere exchange you need money. So obsession is to be avoided. Rejection of money for sure should be avoided. What we need is the balanced, healthy relationship with money. Third thing, relationships. This is one area where schools and colleges are not teaching. The best of the best, most intelligent, most learned, most affluent people get trapped into the relationship dimension. And that's why we have opened up the Radiant Relationship program on LMS. Okay. Anybody who feels that you need to learn the relationship lessons, 8 paid sessions of Radiant Relationships are already on the LMS. 5 free sessions which we had on Prem given by Babaji, those are also there. And now every first Sunday of every month, we are having this heart-to-heart talks. So last Sunday we had, even that session has gone onto the relationship platform. And coming Sunday, that is today is Thursday, after 2 days. Okay, so Sunday morning 8 a.m. IST, we are going to have heart-to-heart communication. And any of you have any questions, then put it there on the WhatsApp group. I have already posted the details of the Zoom meeting and questions. So you can post your questions there. Sunday morning, I will be giving you the answers on love, relationships, and intimacy issues of life. Okay. So every month, first Sunday morning, 8 a.m. IST is the time for heart-to-heart talk, and focus will be only on this because this is the important dimension where majority of people need help. That's why we have created that new platform where only love, relationships, and intimacy issues are answered there. All right. And it's a major issue. The moment there is some affluence in the society, the relationship issues are dominant in that society. India, for sure, economy is booming. India is becoming affluent, and relationship issues for sure are popping up everywhere. So upper middle class, I was checking the divorce rate. It has gone from 5% to 35% in last 2 years. Huge difference. 5% to 35% upper middle class. And why? Relationship issues. All right. Solution? Non-violent communication is the solution. How to communicate? Okay. Your voice tone plays a very big role. Your facial expressions, gestures play a very big role in communication, especially when it comes to man-woman communication, matrimonial communication. These issues dominate. The misunderstandings are because of the voice tone and gestures. Okay. And every human being needs a lot of training, communication training, and understanding so that you don't get into the pitfalls of improper communication. All right. So maybe in one of the camp, we'll have a full camp only on this. How to improve your voice tone. See, I went through a 6 months rigorous training every day, 4 hours, continuously for 6 months. That kind of a training I myself went through in my younger days just to improve the voice quality and also the body language. Okay. So when I did my sex education learning how to communicate about sex education to the groups. There, the tremendous amount of body language training was there. Okay, so that your postures, your gestures, everything is perfected and you can communicate with a lot of loving assertiveness. Now, these are the areas what I am feeling is needs a lot of training. And those who avoid, they for sure mess up their life. High intensity this satsang is all about problem solving, is all about telling the truth that this is what is missing. Not to discuss the empty philosophy. See, philosophy is joyful. It's like a fun. It's like a time pass. But that philosophy should be relevant to our day-to-day living. Otherwise, if you are not digesting the philosophy, what is the point of talking the big philosophy? If simple mistakes are going on, relationship issues are troubling, and you are talking about Kashmir Shaivism and Pashupat Shaivism and all, it doesn't make sense. Because the actual reality of the life is you are having the basic issues, health, wealth, relationships, karmic entanglements. So, discussing the philosophy becomes the funniness, it becomes a hypocrisy. See, many of our students have become masters in their own way, doing amazing job. Okay, extraordinary. Very big groups are there. Many of you are trained in a proper manner. But what is the genuineness of the spiritual master? The genuineness of the spiritual master is, are you improving in those dimensions? My focus all the time is on myself. Am I improving in those dimensions? Why am I reading so many books, doing so much of research? The whole idea, the liberation, will not happen unless you are a learner, unless you are growing into those dimensions. Okay. And that is where people are missing out. See, this communication training that I'm talking about, I spend huge amount on one of the best trainer of the world as my personal coach. Okay. The highest paid. Very costly. But I went through those because I understood that without those things, the life cannot improve. See, today, because of the Babaji's blessings, I am communicating on the Prem mark. Do you know how difficult it is to communicate? I got this knowledge in December 2016. Babaji told me to practice for 1000 days. 1000 days, approximately 3 years. So 17, 18, 19. By December 2019 or beginning of 2020, I would have done that. I started doing in the mid 2025, delayed by almost 4.5 years. You know why? Because the vibrational knowledge that was received from Babaji, to put that into the words and communicate, it's so difficult. And it's not about just communicating with full clarity and avoiding the misunderstandings. See what happened? People have very fancy, filmy ideas about the word love in India. Those who see too many of Hindi movies and all. So the word love is been abused beyond repair in our literature. And when I'm talking about Prem Marg or Path of Love, that's a totally different dimension. It has nothing to do with this filmy love that is there. Okay. So the misunderstanding can be very heavy. Whatever words I use, recipients will interpret according to their conditions. Got it? And there can be a lot of issues because of this misinterpretation. And I can't control that. All types of people are listening. You see, that was the reason that best of the best knowledge that I received from Babaji, I was not able to deliver. So I had to prepare myself, take the risk, communicate in a proper manner. My voice tone has to be good. My body language has to be proper. My behavior has to be proper. And I have to take the risk of being misunderstood by the people. That will be there. And still I have to complete the mission of Babaji's knowledge or wisdom promotion under the Prem Marg and Kriya Yoga. Unless I do that, I will not get liberated. These are the basic fundamental aspects of life. See, after enlightenment, the path of liberation is a very, very long. When the enlightenment happens in the body, the person has to work on the mission fulfillment, and that will lead to the liberation. Enlightened beings cannot get liberated without completing the mission on the planet Earth. Those who do not complete, they will be born again. Born enlightened. They are known as Paramhansa in our tradition. Okay? Those are known as Paramhansa. Born enlightened, but did not complete the mission. So they come, and the moment they become aware of, from the early childhood, they start working and they get onto the mission. That is the tradition. If you understand all these things, okay, kind of a sincerity, honesty in your approach, in your behavior will come. Sincerely, you will start walking the path. Otherwise, walking the path is also kind of a fancy thing, you know. I'm interested in movies. Like that, people are interested in spirituality. Little bit of interest here and there. Okay, sometimes I understand, sometimes I don't. But I enjoy listening to spiritual talks. It's okay. That's kind of a curiosity with which the life starts. But at one point, that sincerity, that honesty of walking the path has to come. And that is the purpose of this high intensity Thursday Satsang. I hope all of you understood. Because every time I talk about what is that high intensity, the high intensity is understanding those 5 dimensions, being honest about improvements in every dimension, being honest inside out. That's called the integrity. That is the acid test of enlightenment. Manavacha karmane susangatita, which means what? Congruency in thoughts, words, and deeds. So whatever I think, I should talk that, and whatever I talk, I should do that. And there should be congruency between my thinking, my talking, and my doing. That is called integrity. Only when you have sustainable integrity like that in your behavior, that liberation is possible. Otherwise, liberation is not possible. As long as your mind is creating the stories, inside something, outside something, you are projecting. Okay. Liberation is not possible. And that is the trouble with the modern human beings. So, high intensity Thursday Satsang is all for understanding this very fundamental aspect of life. How do we create that congruency? Congruency amongst thoughts, words, and deeds. That is the acid test of enlightenment. That is called integrity. Once you get into that mode, then liberation becomes possible, available. And be sincere about the mission. Without mission fulfillment, liberation is not possible. See, one of the students asked me, Guruji, why do you announce these Zoom meetings every now and then? I asked a very simple thing, for my liberation. Unless I complete my mission of reaching out to the people with my understanding, I can't get liberated. See, let me tell you, liberation is not individual. This is the misunderstanding people have. Liberation is joint. No individual is ever liberated alone. The group of people liberated. That is the secret one has to understand. So, in your isolation, liberation is not possible. See, now, in your isolation, enlightenment for sure is possible. But as an enlightened being, you are not liberated. Liberation is far off. Enlightened being dies, will have to come back, become Paramahansa, start with the mission, come back 2-3 times to complete the mission, then liberation. Or as a householder, you can get enlightened, get onto the mission, go intensely after it, complete whatever you need to do. You are liberated in one lifetime only. You don't have to come back. So enlightenment and liberation, can both of them happen in one lifetime? Yes, it can happen if you have time. If your enlightenment happens early and you have time to complete your mission, then in one lifetime possible. But suppose if the enlightenment happens at the fag end of life and within few years you die, you will be born again. Why? You have not completed your mission. But you will be born enlightened. You will have that awareness, you will have that understanding. And you will get into your mission fulfillment much early in the childhood itself. And you'll have to complete the mission. All right. I hope this basic understanding is there. Okay. So today I'm not going into the lesson aspect. We can have question answer because it's a Datta Purnima, very auspicious day. I wanted to tell you something very, very important, very sincere approach towards our householder spirituality. Basics, okay, not hi-fi philosophy, something down to earth. That's very genuine spirituality. Okay. See, I was talking to my master Sri Dada Gavan. You see the statue behind me? That statue is of Dada Gavan. So I asked him why majority of the spiritually enlightened people are missing out onto the liberation. Why do they have to come back again and again? Why there are so many Paramahansas in India? Of course, in India, the maximum number of people are getting enlightened. So they are coming back and they prefer Bharat Bhumi. They prefer to come back to India so that they can complete their mission. And the here environment is very conducive. Okay. See the striking difference between USA and India. Guruma just came yesterday, day before yesterday, and suddenly say, oh my God, so much of pollution is there. Yeah, it's very striking. Very heavy pollution because a lot of construction activity going on. So much of dust in the environment. Okay, roads are not that clean. So when you come here, immediately you notice all that. But there is something magical in this land. What is that? The spiritual vibrations. Okay. See, I went to some of the very best spots in USA. Very nice places, very clean, neat and clean, well developed. But the spiritual vibration that you feel in India, that is missing. The warmth amongst the people, absolutely missing. Emotional intelligence, very high in India, low in USA. Spiritual intelligence, very high in India, low in USA. Here, there are a lot of other issues are there, resources issues are there. But striking difference between the two countries. Okay. That's why, because the spiritual vibrations are more in India, more and more enlightened beings, they choose to be reborn in India for completing their mission. That's why there are so many Paramahansas in India. Okay, not that they are not born in outside India, there are, but very few. If you see 90% of Paramahansas are born in India. They choose to be born in India. Why? This is the land of liberation. So we need a spiritual environment. We need spiritual vibrations for this. Okay. See, also anybody who has come to our ashram, you understand. The moment you enter the ashram, there's a different kind of energy vibration. Very conducive for meditation. You just sit there under the tree and you will meditate nicely. Why? Vibration. The environment is very, very nice, very conducive. So that is important. All right. Okay. Now I'll look into the questions. There are a couple of questions in the chat box. Okay. Ratna says today is also Mautar Babaji's Janma Nakshatra birthday. Very good. Thank you for information, Ratna. Shobha Dudani has said, sir, please help us on this practically as outside people don't understand our pitfalls as you do. Nobody will understand what outside, even inside people, family people, nobody will understand. These are subconsciously happening. The spiritual journey starts by exploring your subconscious, becoming aware of the subconscious. So it's not other people's responsibility. It is the spiritual seeker of truth. It's your responsibility. It is Mumukshu's responsibility to understand. Don't expect people to help you there. People cannot help you because they are themselves unconscious of all these things. Now, because this is a high intensity Thursday satsang, I have started talking of some higher angle, some high intensity stuff. That's why we are talking about it. For the beginners, I wouldn't talk about these things. Okay. I'm talking for 35 years now. So our people have matured at certain level, and that's why we are able to talk about these things. See, normal spiritual circles are not talking about this thing. It's risky. People don't understand. But all of you, now we have become mature in spirituality. You are practicing so many things since so many years. So I can take the risk of talking about these things now, and your journey will improve. It will move further towards the liberation. Okay, next question is from Krishna Patel. Dear Guruji, to clarify the mission of people in human body is to learn the 5 life lessons, and mission of enlightened person is to liberate others for joint liberation of self and others. Yes, 5 basic lessons everybody has to learn. See, unless you clear up your health dimension, your money dimension, your relationship dimensions, your karmic entanglement dimension, and your spiritual evolution, enlightenment does not happen. If you go deep into spiritual evolution aspect, enlightenment can happen, but you will fall back. It will not be sustainable. Why? If you're unhealthy, how will you sustain the high vibration? Only healthy body can sustain 700 plus vibrations of enlightenment. Unhealthy body cannot sustain. If you're having relationship issues, you'll be pulled down again and again. You will feel you have been pulled down. Okay. If you have no money, you'll feel very troubled in this world. Basic lessons everybody has to learn. But everybody has a mission that is called as a soul mission. Atma ka mission hai. Number one mission is to get enlightened in this body. That is the first level of mission. Second level of mission is to help others to get enlightened. That is the path of liberation. But you see, whosoever is there on the mission will have to tackle the 5 basic issues of life. Why? Most of the people have those issues. So you have to become expert in solving the basic issues of life. Then only the spiritual evolution becomes possible. You can't be teaching only meditation. Okay. People who come for meditation, they say, oh, I have a back pain, which means all health issues. Okay. I'm not able to come because my job doesn't allow me, which means what? Wealth issues. You are stuck with earning money. You don't have freedom to spare time for your spiritual journey. You see? I don't come because my home people, they don't allow me. My family members, they don't allow me, which means you have relationship issues. Okay. Karmic entanglement issues. Unless you sort out those things, you are not really ready for the spiritual evolution. Okay. And liberation means joint evolution with the group of people. How will it happen? That's why all wise people, they come down to the marketplace and they start teaching. They start helping others. There are 2 things. One, the mission fulfillment of helping others. Second, it is the test of your own enlightenment. See, feeling enlightened, enjoying the bliss, Satchidananda in Himalayan caves is very easy. You come down to the marketplace, face the normal people of Mumbai or New York or London, okay, and then you understand whether you are awakening into the Satchidananda, or you are becoming angry and irritated with these people. See, if somebody is enlightened and he doesn't get angry in the traffic jam of Bengaluru, then I will consider that person is enlightened. So Bengaluru has tremendous traffic jam. People, motorcycle wala, they will move onto the footpath and all. If you are stuck at one place for 20 minutes and you are still not angry, you are practicing your loving attention, and you have a lot of compassion in your heart for all the people who are stuck in the traffic jam, then I consider you are enlightened. Okay. Horrible things. How do you behave at that time? That is important, you see. It's very easy to be blissful into the Himalayan caves where nobody is troubling you. When you come down, when you stay with your family, when you are in a society, okay, lots of troubles are there where, your enlightenment is tested 10 times a day, 20 times a day. And if you are married, 30 times a day, 40 times a day, it is tested repeatedly. Okay. If you have children, 50 to 60 times a day, it is tested. Then your enlightenment becomes stronger. You are genuinely enlightened if you are facing all these things and still happy. That is the acid test of enlightenment. It's tested fully, extreme conditions. Okay, then you can be certified. Otherwise, not. You are sitting in a blissful environment of Himalayan caves and you are all alone and you are feeling you are one with God. Oh, that's great. Come down to Mumbai and then feel one with God, then I will believe. That's good. Okay. Krishna Patel. So, joint liberation. Yeah, everybody has to work on the mission, helping others. That is the mission. Okay, one more question. Krishna Patel. Also, how important is throat chakra in improving communication? See, unless your throat chakra is fine-tuned, your voice tone quality will not improve. This is 100%. And the tonal quality of the voice can play a major role in communication. And that's what 6 months rigorous training, 4 hours a day for 6 months continuously. I was getting trained by one of the expert trainer. Okay. Why? Because without that, it's impossible. Many people who have not focused on their tonal qualities of the voice, they are misunderstood big way. Even I have seen in the corporate world, see who are the people who go up the ladder faster, people who show some kind of leadership qualities. In leadership qualities, communication is the most important aspect. And in communication, your voice tone and body language is the most important aspect, which means those who have got better voice tone and those who have powerful body language, they go up the ladder super fast. Same thing, business leadership. People who have this powerful communication ability, they expand their business very fast. Okay. So communication plays a very big role, even relationship wise. You see, I think all these issues people are facing because life is telling you to learn those lessons. If you are not learning those lessons, those issues will continue. If you are learning those lessons, the issues will disappear. So, where does one focus in learning? Focus wherever you have the issues. If you are facing certain problem, maybe a health issue, or wealth related issue, or relationship related issue, or karmic entanglement, or you want to evolve spiritually, find out where is the issue, start learning, and immediately the issue will disappear. Issue continues life after life because people are not learning. That is the issue. The attitude of learning is the most important aspect. So for communication, throat chakra plays a major role. Relaxing the throat chakra by Ujjayi Pranayama. A little snoring sound by creating the friction in the voice box relaxes your body. The tenseness will be lesser. You will be more centered in communication. And if you are talking from your center, you are more effective in your communication. Okay. Communication can be mind to mind or heart to heart. That was another research that I did in last 10 years time. Mind to mind communication is interesting. It's good for intellectual people. But what I found is heart to heart communication is many times more powerful than mind to mind communication. See, if I'm talking something that appeals to your mind, it's good. If you're an intellectual type, you will be appealed by that. But if I go deeper and operate from my heart, and if I talk something which is appealing to your heart, that communication is even far more superior. Why? Heart to heart communication is far more superior. The heart field is 5,000 times more powerful than the brain field. Okay. Heart Math Institute in USA has done some scientific research on that. You can Google it. Lot of information is available on that. The heart field is far more powerful than the brain field. And you see this Prem given by Babaji is all about operating lovingly from the heart, communicating lovingly from the heart. That's why the title of the Sunday morning, Heart to Heart Talks. It's a hearty talk, not heady talk. And that is the solutions to many human issues which are there. See, if every human being is settled, not in the head, but in the heart, if your energy comes down from head to the heart, and if you are settling in your heart, and if you learn this art of loving communication, and if your tone is softer, where the love reflects into your communication, then connecting to the people is easier. Without that, human connections do not happen. See, that's a big issue everywhere. Even in the group, even in the family, people are feeling isolated as if nobody's around there. You are in the midst of people and you still feel lonely because you don't feel connected. So, heady connections are no connections, hearty connections are the connections. So, everybody has to learn to operate from the heart. Okay. Let me tell you, it's risky. I'm coming back to that risk factor again because life and risk goes parallel. I'll tell you what is the risk. I'll show you. One of the, okay, I'll show you the presentation. Let me tell you this thing, show you. Okay, the first one says, in the vibrant silence of the master's love field, you will catch the spark of life. This is the indication of how the enlightenment happens in the Prem mark. This is the all about Prem mark. You can see the Prem mark thing is there below. Okay. The second one says, in the vibrant silence of love field, me and you, my beloved, are one. What is it talking about? See here, who is the beloved? What you are seeking. You are seeking the Godhood. So the God becomes beloved. Okay. If you are into that vibrant silence of the love field, me and God are one. Do you know the Godhood or the godliness as a quality is never experienced by the self? Why? In that experience, the self disappears, which means what? Me and my beloved, the God, are one. So, in the vibrant silence of the love field, me and you, my beloved, are one. That is the meaning of it. Okay. The third one, you may drop out from this oneness with the God. Then In Bhakti Marg, we talk about Vira and Milan. Milan means meeting the God. Vira means going away from the God. So when there is Viraha, you are not one with the God, then your heart starts getting into trouble. That is called Viraha. So this is a slide for the Vira. My heart is longing for you, O my beloved. Separation is no more bearable. Come fast, take me in your arms and let me disappear into your heart. That's exactly what happens in enlightenment. So when you drop back from the enlightenment, your vibration has reduced, then you will feel very uneasy. Why? Where is it gone? Gone. But if you come down in the open, enjoy the open air, you raise your vibration, and suddenly you are one with the God. Which means what? One with the Brahman, one with that silence, one with the love. All that is there. That's the enlightened state. So hide and seek game is there in love, in enlightenment. So you may fall back. Okay. Why I showed you this thing? Simple reason. All these slides can be misunderstood by people. This is coming from the different dimension altogether of the heart. Now, filmy fellows reading this thing will create a serial on this. He will not understand the meaning of what is being said in that. Okay, this is the teaching of the Prem mark. Only those people who would go deep into love, the love for the God, experience oneness with the God. Sometimes they experience separation also. Then that Viraha Bhavana is there, and from there comes that longing of the heart. Difficult for common men to understand all these things. Okay. I told you that is the risk aspect. I was not communicating on Prem mark because the risk is genuine. In the modern world, these things can be easily misinterpreted. Getting it? It needs a kind of maturity on the people's part to understand. All of you being with me have matured in this dimension. Now I am taking the risk that yes, I can openly talk about these things, or you will understand, or at least you will not misunderstand me. But you see, for that, my voice tone is important, my body language is important, my honesty is important, my integrity is important. I have to behave in a certain manner so that you can understand the essence of grammar. The risk is there. Completing the mission is not simple. Okay, all those who are the teachers, all those who want to complete the mission, you have to take the risk. You have to go ahead with all these things and still do it. Okay, next question. So Krishna Patel, communication, throat chakra, very much important. Vinay is asking, Vinaya, as health issue is there, will it come in the way of meditation or chakra healing? See, when the health issue is there, it does come. If your health is not good, how will you be able to sit longer for meditation? Health issue is there, which means some of the chakras are unbalanced for sure. So when the health issue is there, person has to focus on healing, get healed, improve your health. Only then further spiritual evolution happens. Tushar Samant is asking, worried about the future conditions on planet Earth. Even after enlightenment, for liberation, we need to come back to Earth. Will there be more problems for practicing liberation? They are already there. So I'm telling you, everything is risky, everything is challenging. Even now, the challenges are high, and with the situation worsening over the next 5 years, and the wars and natural calamities and all that is happening all around, it's already happening. Challenges are increasing, my dear friends. Okay. So, yes, challenges are there, risk factor is there, but you see, the life is also ticking. Okay. Let me tell you the secret. Tushar, you asked a very nice question. The issues are there. Let me tell you. Okay. See, last time also I think I gave this example. The issues are there because it's raining, it's lightning, it's thundering, the roads are flooded, the cars are not moving, the traffic jams are there. This is all low frequency issue. If you are raising your vibrations going above 700, which means you are taking your flight above the cloud, issues are there, but you are raising your vibrations, so you are going above the clouds. Those issues are not applicable to you. That is the only solution that is possible in this world. See, one of the books will be getting published next year from Swamiji's ashram, Gurudev's ashram, is High Dimension. So this book, I have written one article on how the pig becomes the swan. Okay, there is one article where it's about the pig becoming the swan, which means what? The pig is enjoying in the gutter, filthy place. But suddenly it develops the wings and it just flies off. The other pigs are still facing the same issues. But the one which has been transformed into the swan has transcended the issues. See, it looks very tricky, but it's not. The scientific concept of PVF is really helping us a lot. You increase your PVF, all the techniques, everything has been available now. Okay, made it up, and I have posted the slides also on many groups how to increase your PVF. If you focus there and you practice integrity, okay, honesty, humility, these are more important things. See, this many people, spiritual people, they get onto the gurudom trick. They start promoting themselves as the big gurus. That becomes the trap for them. All these promotions, forceful promotions that students do, and they are promoting like that. No, that's not the way. See, I was reading Vimlatai and Krishnamurti's communication. Vimlatai was a very popular leader, but she got enlightened by being with Krishnamurti's healings and all, whatever happened. After 9 months, she started talking spiritual stuff to the people, but the group size reduced big way. See, somewhere that lalach, lobh, moha is controlling the spiritual beings, then to that level, that risk is high, falling down. If a spiritual master get trapped, I want more students, I want more popularity, okay, then that will become the trap. Then liberation is not possible. And many spiritual people are getting into those kind of traps. That's why this humility, simplicity, honesty, integrity, these are the most virtuous values of life for spiritual beings. Otherwise, the trap is very much there. So, Tushar, the answer to your question is vibrate high. When you increase your PVF, you get into that higher realm, then the challenges of the life are not applicable to you, because those challenges that we are talking about are in the third dimension. If you get into the fifth dimension, those challenges are not there. And that's the simplest thing. It's much easier than discussions. Okay. Next question by Tushar Samant. Let me disappear in your heart. So beautiful. Yeah, that's what it is. Heart of what? Heart of God. Beloved. Beloved is what? God. God's heart. Means what? One with God. That is fifth dimension. All right. So thank you very much for joining. Datta Purnima. What a nice vibrations today. Very enlightening vibration. If possible, contemplate, introspect your life. Let us be very honest with the life. Introspect. What's happening in your life? Where are the issues? Be honest with yourself. Are you really enjoying life? Are you vibrating high? Are you experiencing love? Are you experiencing silence? Are you experiencing oneness? These are the most fundamental things that we need to introspect on Dattaparaya. Then it's worth it. The blessings of Lord Dattatreya will come to you this way. All the gurus will bless you. If you become honest with yourself, if you are very honest in your introspection, the blessings of all the great gurus will start coming to you, and that oneness is a reality all the time. It's 24/7, not once in a while. Okay? Operating from heart has to be the 24 hours reality, not once in a while. So there are certain factors which need to be learned, and that's how you go up the vibrations ladder. Okay? So on this Datta Purnima, let us all seek the blessings. Lord Dattatreya, the first householder, guru in the human form, to bless us, to create the attitude of learning in all of us. Learning and growing is the only way in the human body. There is no growth without learning. And it all starts with the mindset shift and attitudinal corrections. Okay. Once you correct your attitudes and once your mindset becomes growth oriented, then the blessing starts coming. And that's how the spiritual evolution happens. You will not even know when you have entered the dimension of love. And once love takes over, the life is transformed for sure. If you experience the frequency of love, you will be pulled to the higher consciousness naturally. But your challenge is to cross 500. If you cross 500, 700, you will cross for sure. That's easier. The challenge of 499 to 500 is the bigger challenge. How do you experience love in the human body? That is the bigger challenge. If you can understand that, if you can open your heart, if you are willing to let go of your ego, if you are willing to learn the lessons of nonviolent communication, if you are willing to behave in a loving manner, yeah, that is the attitudinal correction that we need. And Sunday morning, okay, I'll elaborate more onto this voice tone issues, because in the aspect of love, relationship, and intimacy, the voice tone plays a very big role. So right now the time is up. Sunday morning we'll continue on the same lines. Thank you very much for joining. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Guruji.